This is Common Sense. I'm William Ferguson. And boy, has it been something of a couple of days. Um, we've had a shooting at a high school. And of course, the first thing that came out was we need gun control. We got a gun control, gun control, gun control. Okay, no. It has nothing to do with guns. It has to do with the hatred that is in this world for human life. It has to do with the idea that the American society allows the execution, the murder, butchering, whatever you want to call it, of human life, i.e. abortions. Whenever somebody does something wrong, it's okay. They're a Democrat. They're liberal. They're Hollywood. They can do it. They can go ahead and do it and get away with it. It's okay. And so that gives the idea to these people that it's okay, go ahead and do it. And it's the mainstream media that's putting forth this idea that it's quite all right to do it. Because they don't report on what is true. What is the truth? Now, today, some indictments have finally come out. And 13 Russians and 3 companies have been indicted in this instrument. So that there's some movement going on here and some action. And in this indictment, Rosenstein came out and said there is absolutely no evidence of collusion with the Russians by the Trump campaign or the Trump White House. None. Okay? Now, Clinton, she colluded with the Russians. The DNC, they were in on it. How many people overall, I don't know, because it's just getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And, it was funny because I thought, I need to look at CNN. What are they reporting on? Are they reporting on the shooting at Florida? No. Are they reporting on the fact that there were indictments put out today? No. Were they reporting on anything to do with no Russian collusion? Anything to do with Clinton's guilt? Anything to do with anything? No. And it's my guess that because Rosenstein said there is absolutely no collusion between the Russians and the Trumps, or the Trumps and the Russians, or whoever, however you want to put it, they decided to run a story on some woman that was having an affair with Donald Trump years ago, and I guess this is all alleged, okay? This has not been found to be true. It's alleged that a friend of President Trump paid her off and paid off part of this magazine to get the story buried. Now, I think it was the National Enquirer. Okay, that I know. That is a rag of pretty much tinfoil hat wearers make up a story and they'll read it. Kind of newspaper or magazine, whatever you want to call it. And it was just a ridiculous story. And I wonder, well, actually, I don't wonder because I know. Why can't the people of the liberal agenda the Democrats, the Hollywood people, why can't they see that the things that are reported and the movies that are made, they do influence the human mind. The human mind, in some cases, is extremely stable. In some cases, it's extremely unstable. In most cases, it is vulnerable. It is vulnerable to what it sees and hears. So if it sees and hears the glamorizing and the glorifying of violence, it will attach to that violence and act out if the mind is vulnerable. Now, there are a lot of crimes that are being committed at any given time in the United States. But gun crimes, they always scream, it's the gun, it's not the gun. Okay? In this instance, literally, it was the FBI. Because the FBI had been tipped off last year, and I think years before that, a couple of years ago, that Nicholas was not stable in his mind. In fact, he had a YouTube video that was out claiming that he wanted to be a professional school killer. And I watched the interview of a YouTuber, and he said, yeah, he saw this kid saying that he wanted to be a professional school killer. And he informed the FBI of this. Okay? And there was somebody else that informed the FBI that this kid wanted to kill people, that he had many guns. But yet, there was no follow-up whatsoever to these allegations. So, he slipped right up through the cracks. And it wasn't the gun, was it? No, it wasn't. Part of it, in fact, most of it, is on the shoulders of the FBI. Now, we know that by all of this Trump-Russia collusion garbage going on, that I'll bet you there's some in the upper echelons of the FBI that are saying we got to keep researching, looking, investigating this. Forget about this kid that people are saying he's going to shoot people. Forget about that. We don't need to research or investigate that. We need to stay on something that there is absolutely no evidence of it happening. And so now, in my mind, somebody dropped the ball big time. And so now the FBI has blood on their hands. And I believe if somebody would have followed up on the leads that were given to the FBI, there wouldn't be dead children in Florida at that high school. And that was not the gun. Absolutely not. None. Okay? And this whole Trump-Russia garbage, it has done nothing. What really, really needs to happen is somebody needs to look at Clintons. Okay? And somebody needs to start indicting Clintons. And everybody that was involved in the Obama White House. And there needs to be some indictments on everybody that was involved. Start investigating. Let's get a grand jury up. Let's get an independent research or investigative unit going on. Because you know, sacrifice, I look at it that children were sacrificed for the idea of these liberals hating Donald Trump, the president. And that's absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. Okay, are we going to see some convictions on that? Who dropped the ball? What happened there? Are we going to see something happen? We need to. Because if this country sees that, oh, you can just go ahead and do this, you can go ahead and do that, they get away with it, he got away with it, she got away with it, they all get away with it. Why can't I? And then you have all of this rhetoric about, oh, Donald Trump hates, Donald Trump is a racist, he's a sexist, he's a misogynist, he's a xenophobe, he's a homophobe, he's a phobic phobe, the mainstream media is feeding garbage to vulnerable minds. And there are young people out there that they don't understand that they're being brainwashed. They're being fed garbage by the mainstream media. And that's how these kids are losing their minds. I don't see how any of these kids can form a right from wrong decision because of what the mainstream media is doing to them. They don't want to look at the president as positive. Just about everything President Trump has done has been positive. It's been forward moving. His cabinet is solid. Christians believing, knowing that God created us. And in order to lead properly, they must follow. And so they follow. They follow the word of the Creator. And if the Creator doesn't know how a human being or human societies should live, then we have nothing. Okay? God's word is common sense. It makes all the sense in the world. So, please, pray for the leadership of this country. Pray for those whose eyes are still blinded to the truth of what is real, of what is common sense. And perhaps we can stop this infighting. We can get together as one country united, and move forward in prosperity and security. I thank you for watching. I'm William Ferguson for Common Sense.